The COVID-19 pandemic disrupted Hollywood, delaying or cancelling many films and forcing others onto streaming platforms. While this was a minor issue compared to the pandemic's overall chaos, it impacted numerous movies, including potential award winners and future cult classics. Films like Birds of Prey had their theatrical runs cut short, while others, like Judas and the Black Messiah, saw limited theatrical releases despite critical acclaim. Many movies missed out on crucial box office revenue and fan engagement due to COVID-19 restrictions. In this exploration of cinematic misfires, we delve into the 10 best movies that bombed during the pandemic, examining how shifting dynamics and external factors contributed to their lackluster performance. So, the 10th movie that bombed during the pandemic is Bloodshot. Released amidst the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the superhero film Bloodshot starring Vin Diesel faced an uphill battle. Based on the Valiant Comics character, the movie showcased impressive action sequences and visual effects, but ultimately received a mixed critical reception. While it's impossible to speculate on the film's fate without the pandemic's interference, its potential audience was undeniable. Diesel's dedicated fanbase, coupled with the film's action-packed nature, could have propelled it to greater success. Additionally, Bloodshot had the potential to carve a niche as a cult classic, appealing to those seeking a break from the dominant Marvel and DC cinematic universes. And the 9th best movie that bombed during the pandemic is Tenet. Tenet is a mind-bending Christopher Nolan thriller with a complex, inverted timeline. While it achieved significant box office success post-pandemic, its overall earnings fell short of Nolan's typical blockbuster standards. Originally slated for a summer release, the film's delayed opening likely hindered its potential to capitalize on the blockbuster season. Despite this, the film ignited intense online conversation, demonstrating its potential for cultural impact had it been released under optimal conditions. And the 8th best movie that bombed during the pandemic is Freaky. A unique blend of horror and comedy, Freaky follows a group of teenagers as they confront a serial killer known as the Blissfield Butcher. The plot takes a shocking turn when one of the teens inexplicably swaps bodies with the killer, setting off a chaotic chain of events. Released during the height of pandemic restrictions, the film's theatrical run was curtailed, preventing it from fully capitalizing on its potential. Given its distinctive premise and the film's ability to merge humor and scares, Freaky was primed to cultivate a dedicated fan base through a prolonged theatrical release, especially during the lucrative Halloween season. And the 7th best movie that bombed during the pandemic is Judas and the Black Messiah. Judas and the Black Messiah is a gripping biopic chronicling the life and tragic demise of Black Panther leader Fred Hampton, masterfully portrayed by Daniel Kaluuya. The film delves into the FBI's insidious plot to infiltrate the organization, ultimately leading to Hampton's assassination. Originally slated for a 2020 release, the film's postponement due to the pandemic impacted its theatrical run. Despite this, the movie garnered critical acclaim, earning multiple Academy Awards, including a win for Kaluuya's powerhouse performance. And the 6th best movie that bombed during the pandemic is News of the World. News of the World, a historical drama starring Tom Hanks and based on Paulette Giles' novel, tells the story of a Civil War veteran who travels reading news to towns. The film, which marked the international debut of German actress Helena Zengel, was released in theaters on December 25, 2020, and on Netflix on February 10, 2021, amid ongoing COVID-19 restrictions. Despite the enduring popularity of Westerns, exemplified by successes like the Yellowstone franchise, News of the World struggled in theaters. It garnered several nominations at the 93rd Academy Awards and might have appealed to fans of historical dramas if not for the pandemic's impact. And the 5th best movie that bombed during the pandemic is The Vast of Night. The Vast of Night is a critically acclaimed sci-fi mystery set in the 1950s, following two young people as they investigate a strange radio signal. Released in the shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic, the film initially gained a dedicated following through streaming platforms. However, its potential for a wider, theatrical audience was undoubtedly hindered by the restrictions of the time. A larger cinematic release could have amplified its impact and introduced the film to a broader fan base, allowing its unique storytelling and talented cast to shine. And the fourth best movie that bombed during the pandemic is Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was a fresh take on the superhero genre, focusing on Harley Quinn's emancipation from the Joker and her subsequent alliance with a group of unconventional anti-heroes. Despite critical acclaim and box office success, the film's theatrical run was cut short due to the pandemic, limiting its potential impact. With its empowering female characters and unique tone, the film could have resonated with a broader audience, including those outside the traditional superhero fan base. And our third best movie that bombed during the pandemic is Respect. Respect is a musical biopic chronicling Aretha Franklin's tumultuous journey to becoming a legendary singer. Jennifer Hudson's powerhouse performance as the Queen of Soul is the film's centerpiece. While the challenges of accurately portraying a complex life often result in mixed critical reception for biopics, Hudson's talent could have propelled the film to even greater heights. Unfortunately, the movie's theatrical release, hampered by the pandemic, limited its audience and full potential. And the second best movie that bombed during the pandemic is The Personal History of David Copperfield. The Personal History of David Copperfield, a comedy drama adaptation of Charles Dickens's novel, tracks David Copperfield's, Dev Patel, turbulent childhood and journey into adulthood. Premiering at the 2019 Toronto International Film Festival, the film debuted in the UK on January 24, 2020, but struggled in North American theatres. Patel shines in his role, and the film offers a modern twist on the classic, appealing to both Dickens enthusiasts and fans of contemporary historical fiction like Bridgerton. Despite its potential to connect with a broad audience, its box office performance fell short. And the last best movie that bombed during the pandemic is The Trial of the Chicago 7. The Trial of the Chicago 7 tells the story of anti-Vietnam War protesters facing legal charges for their activism. Originally set for a limited theatrical release in September 2020, the film was acquired by Netflix and released on October 16, 2020. While it received critical acclaim and several Academy Award nominations, its direct-to-streaming release constrained its potential box office success. With its star-studded cast and engaging historical narrative, a theatrical run might have enhanced its impact and audience reach. So, which of these 10 movies do you think could be a blockbuster if released today? Tell us in the comments section. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.